we're going to steel frame it, and we're going to put basically plywood on the outside and sheetrock on the inside. And I said, you can't do that. Why? Well, it's illegal, first off, it wasn't code, but they were going to do it anyway. And I said, you will have such problems with condensation on the metal because you don't have a thermal barrier on the outside. You will have fasteners coming off the outside. You'll have mold on the inside. This will be a legal issue. Also, you're going to have customers who pay, $1,000 a square foot for these condos sitting next to a freezing cold wall. You can't do it. And they said, well, we've done it all over Colorado and Canada. And I said, well, have you had all these failures I've told you about? No. How can that be? Here's why. That wall design that I described to you is so inefficient that you're pushing heat through the wall all day like a blow dryer and drying it out. So it's so bad that it works. and I had to fight a huge battle going to the highest levels of this company, it was Intrawest, and get them to put 3/4 of an inch of foam on the outside, which was code. So my big victory was obeying the law. I mean, that is, I talk about what might drive you to drink a lot of bourbon, and this is the kind of thing. You're trying to solve climate change, and you can't even do the most basic kind of deal. Now, why is that? Why can't we move the ball forward more than a marginal amount? Are you all familiar with the American desert rat, Ed Abbey? If you're not, you should read some of his stuff. But he was an environmentalist, one of the great environmentalists of his era in the southwestern United States. And he drove this truck, and the truck had a hatch under his feet so that he could throw his beer cans onto the highway while he was drinking and driving. And my point is that people are such complex entities. And that's, in a large part, what you're facing when you try to do something. There are all these conflicting issues you're facing. So someone asked an old friend of Ed's why he did that, because Ed died about a decade ago. And he said, Ed Abbey was just a simple kind of man. He was still looking for answers. What a great point. Yeah, we're not perfect, we're complicated. But when you try to pull things off, you often find these barriers that you've never anticipated. So one of the things I talk about in my book is trying to change light bulbs. The most basic thing you can do in sustainability. You change the lights, it's got huge return on investment, the bulbs last longer, you save carbon, and the maintenance goes down and so forth. And when I tried to do it at a hotel garage or in a hotel, I ran into just wild, crazy opposition. One of the points was, we don't think it's going to save energy. Well, you're dead if someone says that. Because essentially that's like saying, well, the earth is flat. Because I can show you the bulb on a watt meter and show you it's going to save energy. So if you say, well, we're going to go over there. No, we're not. The earth is flat. We can't get over there. We'll fall off the edge of the earth. No one told you that you would run into that. Another example in the hotel was, oh, we can't swap out the light bulbs. We can't put in compact fluorescent bulbs. Why? Well, because if the 5-star, 5-diamond auditor comes in and sees those bulbs and doesn't like them and downgrades as a star, we're out of business. Really, a 5-star hotel losing a star is a catastrophe. Well, would an auditor do that? I called AAA. Hey, would you downgrade a hotel based on energy efficiency light bulb, energy efficient light bulbs? Oh no, we wouldn't. Okay, what's your name? Fred. So I go back to the hotel manager. Fred at AAA said, it's okay. And he said, I'm not going to do it. And he's right, because you can't take that kind of risk. You're weighing hundreds of thousands of dollars in lost revenue versus a few tens of thousands of dollars in savings. So those are just some examples. Now, why else are we failing to solve climate? I call it the supermarket problem. And basically, if you take a typical human being or a typical CEO of a company and say, I'm going to give you two options. On one hand, by taking a strong political stance on climate and doing a lot of investment on energy efficiency, you can help save the planet. However, if you do that, you're going to have a really awkward encounter, or 15 or 20 or 100, in the community with someone who doesn't agree with you politically and doesn't believe in climate science. Almost without exception, human beings will choose to avoid the awkward encounter in the supermarket, even though your alternative is saving the world. You've run into this in your lives. So that's a profound challenge. And what we have to do, oh, there's my garage retrofit. We did get T8s in there. That bulb, I don't know what it's doing there. So we have to start going back to the question of why are you doing what you're doing? And last night at dinner I asked a couple people, so you're doing green building. Why are you doing it? And I'm going to let you answer that. But the answer might be, you know, well, it's my job. I need a job. Or we're making money and we're doing good for the environment. I think there's a deeper rationale for what you're doing. And we have to go all the way back to the Neanderthals to think about that. These folks were pretty amazing. They were really thick, stout, strong people. If you ran into one trying to get coffee and got in a fight, they would destroy you. Just a very powerful build. But what was amazing about them, different from modern humans, is that when Neanderthals got to an ocean, or a river, or a mountain range, they stopped. Because they said, well, we can't go any further, we're going to stop there. And the difference between prehistoric humans and modern humans is that modern humans didn't stop. They did something crazy. They would hop in a boat with no destination and go. There's an anthropologist named Svante Pabo who said, this is absurd. It's ridiculous. He called it madness. So the difference between prehistoric humans and modern humans is insanity. And just look at this. Look at this. You know where Easter Island is? It's about 3,000 miles off the coast of South America. Well, how many thousands, tens of thousands of people hopped in crappy boats like that to find Easter Island? It's insanity. And yet, that's what differentiates modern human beings. And I gotta ask you the question, what were they looking for? And similarly, what's this guy looking for? This is a kayaker, Tyler Brandt, who dropped the highest waterfall ever. There, you can see him. He hit the water, tweaked his wrist a little bit, and then said, I think that's about as high as I want to drop. Well, what's he doing? Here's my friend Chris Davenport. There's a 60-foot cliff. I think I'll huck it. And I'll get a photographer to be there to take it. So what's going on? What are all these people looking for? I think the answer comes with this toy. Many of you I know, I was talking to a lot of people who have children. This is one of the great children's toys of all time. It's the Imaginext ocean-going vessel. Now, this was a toy that I got. Someone gave to my 3-year-old, and I presented it to him on his birthday. I was sitting at home after work having a beer and just thinking what a great parent I was. Because what a cool toy. All of you engineers, kind of energy geeks, you're looking at it and thinking, holy cow. Well, that really is cool. It's got a bathysphere that you can take underwater, and just it's pretty exciting. I mean, you have a harpoon or a lifesaver that shoots itself. And I'm sitting there, and my son, 3.5 at the time, is saying, Dada, this is so cool. We're going to take it in the bathtub, and then we'll go to the pool with it, and in the river, and as he's so excited, and I'm sitting there having my beer, and I'm reading the box, just what's going on. I want to know how all these cool things operate. And of course, it's a whole new adventure every time you take out this vessel. And then I saw this. And I thought somewhere in the world there was the designer of this boat who also came home to his or her family. and had a beer and sat down, and the wife said, "So what'd you do today?" "Oh, I designed a boat that doesn't go on water." That's a midlife crisis. And to the extent that it's a metaphor, we all find ourselves, "What'd you do today?" "Well, you did something like that wasn't endowed with great meaning, and that didn't change the world, and you know it, because it's the human condition, and you want something else. You're looking for some level of meaning beyond that." This was when so I'm sitting there, and I have to tell